Hello, everybody. Welcome to week 5 in the code. I'm always excited, but I'm in the gym. Of course, one of my favorite places to be, and I am thrilled that we get to work out together virtually. And strength training, I've been so excited to get started with strength training. I can do a little dance. Of course, you guys know I like to cut up. The dancing portion is coming too soon. But before we get started with strength training, it is very vital that I go over something that's important. That is form. Many of you that have worked with me before, they know that I yell out something and you yell back at me. Form is what? Everything. That's right. I heard you. Form is everything in this process. So you have to make sure that you're doing the proper form. Now, I had the privilege of going through an amazing training, NASM personal training, which stands for National Academy of Sports Medicine. But there's something that I learned that I think has been tremendous. Of course, I believe that form is everything, but we really are aligned with, we teach the 5 kinetic chain checkpoints, right? So that's what you're going to be thinking about through some of the exercises that we do. So the 5 kinetic chain checkpoints. That's your head, right? Your shoulders, your hips, your knees, and your toes. So I've seen some people when they're doing exercises, their head protrudes forward. You want to watch that. Your shoulders, your shoulders bend forward, or they're not where they're supposed to be. Your hip flexors, you want to make sure that those are your bodies up, they're aligned. And then, of course, when I've seen people do squats, which that's what we're going to work on today, the knees I've seen surpass the toes. That is a big no-no. So form is what? Everything. Thank you. Form is everything. If you're going to work out in the gym, why not make it work, right? So if you don't have the proper form, guess what? You are 9 times out of 10 not working that muscle that needs to be worked. So I want to talk about the lower part of our body, which is so important. I call it the foundation, right? And if we know that if something happens where we, hurt our knee or we twist our ankle and you're down for the count, it's really hard to continue. I've seen a lot of people that maybe they had knee issues, but they really work their upper body. But you really need to have a strong foundation, right? Our legs carry us. It's what gets us going. So you want to take care of these babies. So remember, form is everything. We're going to start with the lower part of our body with squats and lunges and some other things today. So, we squat a lot through life, right? We have to, we squat probably 3 times a day, but even more than that, we always have to pick up something, right? So you're squatting a lot. So I want to go over the correct form of a squat, and this is something that I want everyone to practice this week as well. So the proper form of a squat, your body's nice and tall, right? Your head's up, your body's aligned, right? Make sure that your heels are sinking to the earth. Your feet are shoulder width apart, right? So for a squat, what you're going to do is, the key with your form is making sure that your knees do not protrude over your toes, right? So that's important, because you can bear too much weight on those knees and you can injure your knees. Again, the second thing we want to make sure that our feet are shoulder width apart, right? The next thing you want to make sure is that you're not leaning forward too much when you're doing your squat. Your body is aligned, okay? So watch those shoulders on and your hip flexors, that you're not leaning forward, right? And you're not protruding, your head is not protruding forward, right? So the 5 kinetic chain checkpoints, watching my head, my shoulders, my hips, my knees, and my toes. All right, so let's go. We're ready. So on a squat, and your body's up tall, right? You're going to make sure you lead with your glutes, and you're following through with your quads, okay? So you're coming down, leading with those quads, right? Coming back up and squeezing those glutes, okay? Again, you're going down, all right? Coming back up and squeezing those glutes. Again, making sure that those knees are not going past those toes, leading with those glutes, coming back up. Remember, you're not leaning forward and your knees are not surpassing your toes. But again, body's up tall, leading with those glutes. What I like to say is, Imagine if a dresser drawer was sticking out. Now, I have a 4-year-old, right? And sometimes the 4-year-old, he leaves that dresser drawer out. So, I will make sure that you close that drawer. But imagine if you're closing it with your glutes, okay? So you're leading with those glutes, closing that drawer, keeping your body up tall, making sure those knees are not surpassing those toes, coming back up and squeezing the glutes. Again, back down and up. Making sure that body stays up nice and tall. Squeezing those glutes, keeping that proper form when you go down. And come back up and squeeze. Again, back down and up. Now I want you to do 15 squats, okay? You're coming back up. At the end of 15, you're going to hold for 10 seconds, okay? For 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and back up. That, my friends, that's a proper way to do a squat. Now, like I said, through life, you squat a lot. We have to squat to pick up toys on the ground. And a lot of people squat the incorrect way. You're squatting, your knees are going past your toes, you're squatting like this, and what happens? Time after time, from squatting the improper way, you will experience some pain in your knees. Now, it doesn't happen a lot of times suddenly where you have a twist in the knee or you have a knee issue. It's been a progressive thing with year after year not really utilizing the proper form for your body. So it's very, very vital that you ensure that you have the proper form when doing a squat. So that's when you're picking up anything. And so going forward, even when you're picking up your weight, you want to make sure that you have the proper form doing your squat. All right, thanks everyone.